Welcome to Hope for Everybody, a channel that exists to highlight people and places that are all about providing hope to people in need. Check out today's episode.
Hey everybody, I'm Brandon with Hope for Everybody, and on our channel we highlight organizations that help give hope for everybody and people whose lives have received hope. I'm here with Carlene from Cancer Care Services, and Carlene's going to tell us some background about Cancer Care Services and how it helps provide hope for everybody. How are you doing, Carlene?
I'm just wonderful. How are you today?
I'm doing great. It's a blessing to have you here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So tell us about yourself, Carlene.
Well, I am a native of Fort Worth, Texas. I'm also a grandmother of 5. So they keep me running all the time. I'm an 18-year breast cancer survivor. And I also work for Cancer Care Services as a community health worker, instructor, and an outreach coordinator.
I'm sure you meet women all the time who you directly can have empathy for, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I get a lot of women who will call and say that they're experiencing different things with their bodies, especially when it comes to breast cancer, that they're really not sure of. Or even women who have had a diagnosis and just they don't have the support system, or just wanting to know what to expect, what kind of questions that they can ask their doctor. So my purpose, and with the experience that I've had to go through with that, I'm in a position now where I do mentor women as well.
I'm not sure if you know the statistics or not. I don't, but maybe you do. How often is a woman feeling pain in her breasts that actually ends up it being breast cancer? Like, does every time a woman have pain in her breast mean she's having that serious of a problem?
No, absolutely not. Just because there's pain in the breast, that could be a multitude of things. It could be their monthly cycles. It could be, if they're of childbearing years. There's things like that. Breast cancer specifically will have some noticeable signs. It could be, lumps is the most common. And we always advise women to make sure that they're checking their own breast every month, or when they're in the shower is the easiest time. And then if you ever feel anything that is not normal, discharges from the nipples is another sign.
Forced discharge or automatic discharge?
Well, most of the time I think it's going to be kind of an automatic discharge. So, but in my opinion, unless you're nursing a baby and you're lactating, then if there's a discharge, I would always advise somebody to go and check with their physician.
So when it comes to breast cancer, is it any lump or density at all in the breast it should be taken seriously, or is there some that happen that are just completely natural?
So over time, this is why you always want to be familiar with your body. If there's a lump that has not been there before, you're feeling something, you're doing your monthly exams, and all of a sudden you feel something that is new, then I would take that seriously and go and get it checked.
I don't feel like most people on average have the knowledge of the anatomy of the human breast to really know whether or not there's an issue when there is one. So tell us about Cancer Care Services, its mission, and the people it serves.
Okay. Well, Cancer Care Services, we're here to provide social emotional support for cancer patients, for the caregivers, and for the survivors. And what that looks like is while that patient is going through their treatments, we're helping them with their transportation to get to and from their appointments. That could be gas cards, it could be lift rides, well, we don't do the bus pass anymore, but gas cards, lift rides. We also provide the medication assistance while they're going through their treatments. We'll pay for that, and then we also do patient navigation. And so if there's other services that they need, they may need assistance with paying their rent or their utility bills or food insecurities, things like that.
Really?
Then what we'll do is we will help them to find those resources.
Okay.
So if it's not something that we do in-house, because we're one organization and there's a lot of need out there. So if it's not something that we personally will do in-house, we will hold that person's hand and make sure that they get whatever assistance they're needing.
Right. So Hope for Everybody being a database website that is bringing nonprofits in contact with those who are in need of their services, while also bringing nonprofits in contact with each other, do you believe that that's something that might be useful for you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. With what I do for Cancer Care Services, I'm an outreach coordinator, which means that I'm really boots on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm out on a daily basis, and I'm just going from place to place. I'm Googling, looking up organizations, whether it be nonprofits, for-profits, anything that's going to tie in with us and help us to assist our patients. You know, a lot of times people are diagnosed with cancer and now they're needing therapy because just dealing with that diagnosis and how to handle that. The family's going through everything, and we realize that even the caregiver is probably going through a whole lot more than that cancer patient, because now not only are they having to keep their own lives together, they're now having to make sure that this other person is okay, that they're getting to their treatments, that they're eating properly, that their bills are getting paid and things like that. So at Cancer Care, we really focus on that. So we need therapists, counselors, other organizations that can, you know, maybe provide the food, provide gas cards, or any kind of transportation assistance. Yeah. So I think a database like that, to have something where, you know, we can just log in and, you know, just look through, it's like, okay, I need somebody that can give this person a ride. Where are they? Mm-hmm. So I think anything like that that's going to bring us into a central location to be able to find each other a lot faster and quicker, I think.
Yeah, to be able to instantly connect with
Absolutely.
individuals and nonprofits to communicate with them. You know, that's what Hope for
Absolutely.
Everybody's about.
Absolutely.
And so you obviously run into people all the time that they have more needs than you by yourself and alone can meet.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, it would make the world a difference to be able to just get onto a website or a platform and instantly connect with other nonprofits that can meet those needs, so that way all of the community can come together for those who truly need the help.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because like I said before, there is a huge need out there. And we have limitations.
Mm.
So we can assist them while they're in treatment. But after, you know, they finish like one cycle, then they will have to wait for a year before we can help them again.
So by the cycle, you mean chemo?
Well, so
Or
they go
what?
through their treatment. We will assist them for, you know, about 6 months to a year. There's a time frame, and it kind of depends on when they start and their treatment plan and all of that. But once their service time with us is cut, then we need to have someone else that can pick it up and go. Whether it's you know, like I said, a Moncrief or another organization out there that will assist with some of the same types of services that we have. But they're basically just, you know, we've done our part. We've done as much as we can do at this moment, because we've got to kind of share the wealth, so to say. So this next organization, we refer them to them, and they pick it up and they take it along. But if there was a website or something like that where we had these different organizations that are kind of doing the same things, then it would help all of us, because we're not spending, you know, all of our resources. Of course, they're limited. But if we start to run low, we've got somebody else that can step in and help us with it.
Right.
If you're liking this content, don't miss out on future episodes. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Now back to the show.
So if there's someone watching right now who may have just received a diagnosis of cancer, whether it be breast cancer or any other kind, or if they have a family member that just recently received a diagnosis, is there anything that you'd like to say to them?
Oh, absolutely. So if anyone has been diagnosed with the cancer, if they have a caregiver, family member, Cancer Care Services is all types of cancer, all ages of cancer. And all they'll need to do is go onto our website at cancercareservices.org, complete the Get Help. There's a button at the top right-hand corner. Complete that Get Help, and one of our social workers will call them get them signed up from services, and from that point on, they would forever be in our database. So even after they've completed their treatments, they're still considered one of our clients. So they may not need the financial, but they may need help getting something else. That's what we're there for. They can call us at any time, let us know what they need. And the beauty of that is that they're going to be assigned a case manager. So they're not going to have to call in and speak to somebody different every time they call. They will speak to that one person.
So what is the phone number if they'd like to call?
So the telephone number for Cancer Care is 817-921-0653.
Can we get the website again?
Sure, it's www.cancercareservices.org. So CANCERCARESERVICES.org.
As someone who has personally had family members that have passed away from cancer, I just want to say thank you for the help that you're providing and the care that you have for people who are going through a similar situation.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's something that's near and dear to my heart.
It makes a big difference.
It does.
So, do you believe that in your experience you've come to realize that there's people out there who use and abuse and take advantage of the resources and help like you provide?
Unfortunately, yes. We have had to turn people down because they're wanting things that we are reserving for people who are truly in need. And again, if you've received services, we believe in sharing the wealth, right? So if you've received services and you're no longer, under a doctor's care, then, at that point, we're really not helping. But you have a lot of people out there, unfortunately, that will still try to call in and say that, well, I'm in treatment. But we have to do our own due diligence, so we will be checking. But you're going to have those people who are going to call from organization to organization trying to get the same help or double dipping.
Right. Do you think it would be affordable at $50 a month for a nonprofit to know whether or not the person who is coming to them for help is taking advantage of other nonprofits at the same time as trying to receive help from them?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's a small amount to pay to, save. And then it would also, I guess, save the staff of that organization. How much time are they spending figuring that out? So if there's a database or something that's already got that information, that person's been flagged, I guess.
Like a risk-reward system. That would be helpful, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And the more you know about somebody in the situations that they're going through, the more you can provide help to them in the way that they need it.
Right.
And the more the person is held accountable to that, the more they can make the right decision to get the help that they need, so that way they can change their lives for the better.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because the one thing that we don't want, and I tell people all the time, in order to heal from cancer, we've got to reduce the stress. Mm-hmm. That's the goal at Cancer Care, is to reduce the stress as much as we possibly can, so that person can focus on just healing. We want to be able to help that person. So if there's a database that says, here's a person who truly has a need and we are looking for additional assistance for them,
mm-hmm.
How much would that help all of us to just have that information right there at hand?
What is Cancer Care Services' mission statement?
So that is actually our mission statement.
That is.
We assist cancer patients, caregivers, and survivors so that people will not have to go through cancer alone.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah. So if you had anything that you'd like to say to the audience, whether it be help requested on immediate needs that your organization might have, or an ask for volunteers, or anything else that you'd like to share, now you have an opportunity.
Well, Cancer Care Services, the first thing that I want to tell people, I've seen a lot of people and I've talked to a lot of people who kind of sit back because the first thing is, well, I don't have insurance, or, I don't have a primary care physician, I don't have money, things like that. And I tell them, just pick up the phone and call, because we're going to help you to find the resources that you need. So if you don't have insurance or you're underinsured, we can still, get you in contact with someone who's able to provide you with the screenings that you need. And then assistance in getting you to an organization that could possibly help you with, Medicare, Medicaid, those kind of benefits as well. So just pick up the phone. When you call us, you don't have to know off the bat what you need. But if you're dealing with cancer in any way, then you just need to make sure you reach out.
Don't suffer alone, because there's people out there like her who are actually trying to help and have been through similar situations. You're not alone. So join us in giving hope for everybody. Like and subscribe. We got more coming. This has been Brandon with Hope for Everybody and Carlene with Cancer Care Services. God bless you.
If you'd like to be a part of the show and tell us your story, please visit us online at hopeforeverybody.org.